Solana continues to be one of my most bullish positions. I mean, I'm really excited about this, man. I'm stoked. I keep trying to pack my bags because I don't want it to run without me. And it seems that we have some clarity coming with the Clarity Act finalized. I'm going to play this clip for you real quick. Check this out.
Not only for President Trump, but for Republicans here in the House, where we've worked for 4 years on market structure legislation, and we've passed it twice. We passed it in the last Congress, my bill called Fit 21, and then this Congress, just last July, we passed the Clarity Act, which is what the Senate is debating. And the Clarity Act got 78 Democratic votes here in the House. We lay out the strict rules for market structure on how to treat a digital asset as a commodity or as a security, how you store it, how you can custody it, how it can be used for collateral, how banks will interact with digital assets. So it's a very important bill. You cannot pass a bill just for dollar-backed stable coins like the Genius Act that President Trump signed into law last year without market structure. It's like passing a bill authorizing cell phones, but there's no cell towers. So this bill is very important. I agree with the president that I hope he can sign it soon. We're working with senators to get this text in good shape, listening to their ideas, their concerns, their changes they'd like to make, so that we can get a bill that the digital asset community and the traditional finance community can both support and get this on the president's desk.
So I think initially when the Clarity Act is approved and everything goes through finally, I think the coins that are going to run are whatever's in the top 10. And these are the things that are being built on. These are going to be the coins that are being used. These are going to be the layer ones that are being used. Bitcoin's going to run. XRP is going to run. And definitely in there is Solana. Solana's a monster just waiting to happen. We got Michael Saylor talking about Solana today. Check this out.
Now, the big idea is digital credit is programmable. And most people think programmable means like, oh yeah, I want to like do something computery with it. No, I've got a much bigger idea for you. Programmable means I take the credit and I turn it into a token, a private fund, a public fund, an ETF, an ETP. I make it a bank account. I make it a crypto account. So I turn it into a type of credit. Then I put it on a platform, the NASDAQ, the London Stock Exchange, Solana, Ethereum, Binance, Coinbase, Base. I put it on Aladdin. I put it on a Fidelity mutual fund system. I offer it through Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan's private wealth, system, or the Merrill Lynch system. There are a lot of different platforms I can put that on.
So I know there's been some very bad news with Jane Street insider trading, especially on Bitcoin with the whole 10 a.m. trading dumps. But here's some bullish news for Solana today that's not affected really by any of that because the price is still up. And overall, the market isn't down like they're trying to make it seem. Everything's still pretty flat. So here we go. VanEck Jito Sol ETF filing. NASDAQ has filed a proposal to list a VanEck Jito Sol ETF. This is a first of its kind liquid staking token ETF. You can stake on an ETF. That's gangster. If approved, it would allow institutional investors to gain exposure to Sol while automatically capturing staking yields directly within the fund's NAV. Strong inflows. U.S. spot inflows. Solana ETF recorded 30 million to 40 million in net inflows today, the highest single day mark since mid-December. Regulated funds now control roughly 1.55% of the total Solana supply. Price targets. Analysts note that Solana has broken out of the symmetrical triangle pattern. If it closes decisively above the 90.35 resistance level, the next technical target is pegged to be 104 and 110. Payment volume on Solana has surged today. Solana's payment volume has reportedly surged 755% year over year, with daily transactions hitting record 148 million, cementing its position as the preferred rail for the agentic economy, AI-driven on-chain transactions. Sharps Technology, NASDAQ STSS, announced a strategic collaboration with the Tide to delegate over $2 million Solana from its treasury to institutional grade validators. This move highlights a growing trend of public companies using Solana as primary treasury asset. While the sentiment is overwhelmingly positive, some on-chain data shows nearly 300 million in Solana moved to exchanges recently, suggesting some holders may be looking to take profits at these higher levels. That doesn't really affect me much. It doesn't really bother me much. I'm more focused on all the bullish catalysts. So, well, let's play this last clip here.
Yeah, I think going back to this idea that like the biggest advantage of a public blockchain is having a shared ledger across all different types of financial transactions and counterparties and assets. Solana is the only chain that one has this super active DeFi ecosystem, and so you have all sorts of financial products, is something that is cheap enough for these stablecoin payments. And so you have this kind of network effect or flywheel of each incremental use case that all, again, pile onto each other and build momentum. And so whether that's a integrated payments platform, or the ability for you to accept payments on Shopify via Solana, or the fact that there is this huge DeFi ecosystem. When you look at other chains, you're usually forced to make a trade-off around, is this something that's good for payments? Is this something that's good for DeFi? Is this something that has a strong user base? But on Solana, I guess, just as a function of time, the network effect of liquidity, you've really seen this, like, again, compounding flywheel between all these different use cases and participants and builders really start to kind of catapult, which has been really awesome. I mean, like when we first started, like one of the biggest questions we got during our seed fundraise was like, why are you building on Solana? Or like, there's no liquidity. And it's crazy to think about how much has changed, where it's like a de facto a lot of the times. Definitely super excited to be here after all those years. And then to your second question in terms of like competition, obviously, yeah, like you said, there's like a burgeoning DeFi ecosystem on Solana. I'm someone that thinks, one, I think our product is complementary to a lot of the pool-based lending protocols. I think those are great for very specific use cases of like kind of retail-oriented, collateralized margin. I think when you start to work on some of the TradFi markets and RWA assets, you just kind of require this new architecture. And so in that context, that market is huge and trillions of dollars, and there's still kind of so much, like, DeFi and Solana today is 1% of what it will be 10 years from now. So there's still 99% left to kind of bring on chain. And there's so much left to be done that it's really hard to look at it as a zero-sum game.
So shout out to Marguerite Gunnerate. I don't even want to keep saying that. Anyway, shout out to her. She's very well spoken. And like she said, Solana and DeFi are 1% of what it will be 10 years from now. Now, to me, I mean, I'm 100% for this, and I believe this. You know, this is one of my biggest, if not my biggest, position as far as layer ones or anything that's going to be utilized in the future as far as utility. I think XRP is just as important, but I think really that Solana is what I'm focused on more for right now in building the future of my portfolio, because it's where I'm generating most of my wealth from. I do have a couple of speculative plays right now, but the utility cases as far as in my portfolio are definitely XRP and Solana. Get a little bit of exposure to this right now while we're down. If you're not holding this, I definitely think that's a mistake, especially if you're holding riskier plays right now and we don't really know what's going to happen. So I would definitely put yourself, and this is not financial advice, I would definitely put yourself into something that's safer and that people are actually using. Look around and see what the market sentiment is. Fill your bags accordingly. Don't spend a lot of time researching all these super speculative plays where there's no social engagement, there's no catalyst being built on these things. Make sure your bags are packed with your hedges first before you go off the deep end and getting out there on the fringes. At the time of recording this, Solana is at $86.09. We're down 3.47% today. And you know, it's not too bad. I wish it was a little bit lower because I'd be able to stack a little bit higher. I do get paid here in about 20 minutes, so I'm going to be loading up, and I'm excited right now. And I just encourage you guys to find some plays that you're going to be excited about. but also at the same time that you don't have to worry about checking the apps all day, checking the charts, because you know you're in something that's not going anywhere. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's finding ways to de-stress and to just relax, and hope you guys are building up your bags, getting that little extra money to put in there as often as you can, and just enjoying the family life, enjoying daily life. I hope this video finds you guys well. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, God bless.